Cantilever. Determination of Young's modulus of a material of a given bar using the bar as a cantilever. Now we are using the scale and telescope method. Now let us discuss the theory involved in the determination of Young's modulus of the material of a given bar using the bar as a cantilever, and here we are using a mirror and telescope method. Now in mirror and telescope method, the Young's modulus is determined using the formula y is equal to mg L squared divided by 2I into theta, where I the moment of inertia of a bar, and for a rectangular bar the moment of inertia I is given by b d cube by 12, and L is the length of the cantilever. L is the length of the cantilever, and theta is the deflection produced on a scale which is placed at a distance of d. Then on the scale we are getting a shift S. Now from the S, where S is the shift for a known mass m, then theta can be determined in terms of S as theta is equal to S by 2d. Now we are substituting the value of moment of inertia I and theta in the equation for y, then we are getting y is equal to 12 mg d L square divided by b d cube S. Now y is equal to 12 mg d L square by b d cube S. Now in that formula, for a known mass, for a given mass m is a constant, g is a constant, b the breadth of the bar, and d the thickness of the bar, that is also a constant. So 12 mg by b d cube is a constant. So the term d L square by S is supposed to be a constant. So we are finding the value of d L square by S in our experiment, where d the distance of the scale from the mirror strip on the cantilever, and L is the length of the cantilever, and S is the shift produced for a known mass m. Now we can repeat the experiment for another value of length of the cantilever. Then L is changing, then S value also change, say d also may change, so that d L square by S is a constant. So we can repeat the experiment and we can substitute the mean value of d L square by S, and the Young's modulus can be calculated. Coming to the experimental setup, now as we have already seen, the cantilever, one end of the cantilever is firmly fixed, and the other end of the cantilever we are suspending a mass m, and above the mass m we placed the mirror strip, and in front of the mirror strip at a distance of say capital D, D is nearly 1 meter, we obtain D 90 centimeter. Now we are placing the telescope and the scale arrangement at a distance of D. Then on the mirror strip we are getting the image of the scale. Now when the bar is loaded, the cantilever is loaded, what happens that the bar get depressed, so there is a depression is there, then correspondingly the mirror is turned through a certain angle theta. So the deflection on the mirror on the scale changes by 2 theta, then 2 theta is equal to S by D, and that we are measuring. So we are noting the deflection on the telescope for a mass W0 or initial dead load, then for a given mass m, then repeatedly we are adding masses one by one, and each time we are noting the value of deflections or the scale reading with the help of the telescope, and we are repeating the experiment. Then from that we are determining the value of d L square by S. Now coming to the observations tabular column, we want to find the breadth of the bar. For that we are using a vernier calipers, so that is a tabular column for vernier caliper. Then we are determining the thickness of the bar, that is with the help of a screw gauge. So this is the tabular column for the screw gauge for the determination of d, the thickness of the bar. Then for the determination of d L square by S, now initially the cantilever is arranged such that say the length will be 30 centimeter or 0.3 meter. Now capital D we can measure, that is the distance between the scale and the mirror strip. Now we are adding the load. Initially the load is W0, then W0 plus m, W0 plus 2m, etc. Now during loading, when a load W0 is there, we can take the telescope reading, and the telescope reading is noted here. Then we are placing a load of W0 plus m, again telescope reading is noted, like we noted the telescope reading for 5m up to 5m. Now we are removing the loads one by one. So when we remove one load from here, we are obtaining a load W0 plus 4m. Then that is unloading. Now one more is removed, 3m, then 2m, m and W0. Then we can take the mean of the loading and unloading reading, and that mean readings are marked as x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. That is corresponds to W0, W0 plus m, W0 plus 2m, W0 plus 3m, W0 plus 4m and 5m. Now from that mean value of scale reading, we can obtain the shift in scale reading for a mass of 3m. For that, we are calculating the value of x3 minus x0. The reading corresponds to a load W0 plus 3m minus the reading corresponds to the load W0, that is x3 minus x0. Similarly, x4 minus x1 also gives the shift the shift in the scale reading for a load of 3m. Also x5 minus x2 also gives. So we obtain 3 times the shift for 3m. The mean value of the shift for 3m is determined. The mean value of shift for 3m is determined. Now from that we can determine the shift for a mass m. So here we are getting the shift for 3m, then that value divided by 3 gives the shift for m, and that is the value of s. That is the value of s. We already noted the value of L, we obtained the value of D, and then we can determine L square D by s. Now it can be repeated for say another length of the cantilever, that is say 0.4. In that case also we repeated, or we are taking the readings, scale readings, then we can determine L square by D, and then we are finding the value of mean L square D by s. Now the mass that we added each time, either it may be 50 gram or 100 gram, that we knows. Now we knows all the quantities we required, the mass m, dl square by s, the breadth and the thickness. Now we can calculate the value of y, the Young's modulus of the material of the bar. Now coming to the experimental arrangement of the cantilever. Now this is the cantilever. Now we are having a bar. Now this bar is used as a cantilever. Now for that, one end of the bar is firmly clamped with the help of a clamp. Now the distance between the rigid support to the end of the bar, that is the length of the cantilever. At the end of the bar, we suspend a mass. A weight hanger is there. We can suspend different masses. Now a mirror strip is placed over the top of the given mass, and that is a mirror. Now a scale and telescope arrangement is here. The scale is fixed at a distance of nearly 1 meter. Here the distance D is only 90 centimeter. The scale is fixed. Along with the scale there is a telescope. Now the scale is placed such that the image of the scale is obtained on the mirror. The image of the scale is obtained. Now the telescope is focused. The telescope is focused on the mirror. Then inside the mirror the scale image is there. So we are getting the image of the scale on the telescope. So I can obtain the image of the scale on the telescope. Now for the purpose of taking readings, initially we are finding with the help of a vernier caliper the breadth of the bar is determined initially at different points. The breadth of the bar is determined. Here I am getting an MSR reading of 2.8 and a VSR reading of 5. It is repeated at 2 or 3 places. MSR reading not change 2.8, but VSR reading is 6. So it is repeated 5 times. Then we obtain the breadth of the bar. Then using the screw gauge, we are determining the thickness of the bar at different places. Now initially we want to find the pitch scale reading and head scale reading. Here the pitch scale reading is 5 only, then head scale reading is 34. That is repeated at another point. Again the pitch scale reading is 5 again, but the head scale reading is changed to a value of 35 now. Now it is repeated at 2 or 3 points. Then the thickness of the bar is determined. Now to find out the value of dl square by s, we want to add some known loads. As in the case of all loading experiment, it is better to add the loads on the weight hanger one by one, 1 or 2 times. We are adding the loads, then remove the loads, add and remove the loads 1 or 2 times, then only our bar comes to an elastic mode. So to bring the bar to an elastic mode, we are adding the load 2 or 3 times and removing the loads. Then initially, to start with, we are placing a load, that is a dead load, a W0 alone. Initially the load is W0 alone. Now the image of the scale is obtained on the mirror. So we want to observe that reading. Now looking through the telescope, we are obtaining the reading. So here the horizontal crosswire of the telescope coincides the reading of the scale, that is at 19.2. The horizontal wire of the telescope now coincides with the scale reading 19.2. So we can mark that reading in our tabular column. For that load, we are getting a scale reading of 19.2. So we mark that reading 19.2 here. Now we are adding a load W0 plus M. Here the load added in each time is only 50 gram. So we are using 50 gram each. Now a load W0 plus M is here. Now the cantilever is bent. The mirror is slightly tilted. Then the scale reading is changed. We want to take the new scale reading. Now we are going and observing the new scale reading. Now looking through the telescope, I can see here the crosswire is coincides with 20.6. So the scale reading is changed. The reading is 20.6. So we are noting that reading. The reading is 20.6. Again we are adding one more load. Now the load is W0 plus 2M. Again we want to find the scale reading. Now looking through the telescope, there should be a shift in the scale reading. The horizontal crosswire is shifted to a position of 21.8. Now the crosswire is coinciding with 21.8. So we are repeating that. Again we are adding a mass of W0 plus 3M. Again take the scale reading. Then W0 plus 4M, W0 plus 5M, W0 plus 6M, W0 plus 7M. We are adding the loads, W0 plus 8M. Each time we have to note the scale reading and tabulate the scale reading. Now, so that is the loading. Then we are removing the loads one by one, that is unloading. Now we remove one load. Now it is only W0 plus 7M. Again take the scale reading. Then W0 plus 6M. So step by step we are removing the loads up to dead load W0. In each time note the telescope reading. So with that reading we can find the shift for a certain mass M, and from that knowing the distance d, we already mentioned the distance d is 90 centimeter or 0.9 meter. The length of the bar here, the length of the cantilever is 30 centimeter, that is L. So L square d divided by the shift that we calculated in the tabular column, we can determine L square d by S. Using that value of L square d by S, we can calculate the value of the Young's modulus of the material of the bar. Now coming to the sample set of readings that we obtained for the cantilever. Initially we find the breadth of the bar. Now we obtain the vernier scale reading like this. The main scale reading is 2.8 for the bar and vernier scale reading is 5. So the breadth of the bar is 2.85. It is repeated 5 times and we obtain the mean breadth of the bar is 2.85 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. Now to determine the thickness of the bar, we use the screw gauge. The initial readings of the screw gauges are taken, least count is determined. Then for the screw gauge we obtain a pitch scale reading, that is always 5. Now the head scale reading is changing, that is 36, 35, etc. Then corrected HSR is noted and the total reading which gives the thickness we obtain 5.37, 5.36, etc. And the mean value of thickness is 5.363 millimeter. So we obtain B and D. Now we want for the tabular column for L square D by S. We performed the experiment for a length 0.3 of the cantilever. Now the D value, we place the scale at a distance of 90 centimeter, that is 0.9 meter. Now we added the load W0, W0 plus M, etc. When W0, the dead load is there, on the telescope we obtained a scale reading of 19.2. Now for a load W0 plus M we obtained 20.4. Now for 2M that is 21.6, and for 3M 22.8, and so on. This is the reading for 4M, 5M, 6M, 7M and 8M. Now we removed one of the, when we removed one of the load, then we obtained the reading corresponds to 7M, that is again 27.4, for 6M 26.2, for 5M 25.2, like up to W0 that is 19.4. The mean of these two readings 19.2 and 19.4 is 19.3, 20.4 and 20.4 is 20.5, etc. So the mean value is determined and marked. Then from that we calculate the value of x3 minus x0, that is 22.9 minus 19.3, that is 3.6, x4 minus x1, that is 23.9 minus 20.5, then x5 minus x2, 25.1 minus 21 point, and so on, x8 minus x5 up to which we determine. Then mean of these all readings, that is the shift for 3M, and the mean is 3.45, that is the shift for 3M. When it is divided by 3, that is in centimeter, when it is divided by 3 we obtain 1.15 centimeter, that is the shift for a load M, and that is known as S, and that is S. Now in meter we are writing, that is 1.15 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. Now we can determine, or we determine the value of L square D by S, that is 0.3 the square into D 0.9 divided by 1.15 into 10 to the power of minus 2, we obtain 7.043 meter square. That is the value of L square D by S. So here we determine the value of L square D by S only once, it is not repeated. So this is the mean value of L square D by S. The M that we used is 50 gram. In each time we added 50 gram, so that is 50 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kilogram. So the Young's modulus is calculated using the formula 12 mg dl square by bd cube S, and we obtain 0.9418 into 10 to the power of 10 Newton meter raised to minus 2. So that is our result.